What if the very machine we built to save us ends up showing us how we're destroying ourselves? The future's unfolding right before us. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe now to dive into the shocking truth about where humanity's headed. Be the first to discover the chilling prophecy that might just change everything. In 2021, the world's most powerful AI, Prometheus, was unleashed. It wasn't designed to predict the future. It was designed to analyze vast swathes of data, tracking global news, identifying patterns, and helping governments and corporations make decisions. But what started as a tool for progress soon became a terrifying harbinger of doom. Prometheus, with its unmatched ability to sift through the noise of global events, began making predictions. At first, they seemed trivial: an economic crash here, a political upheaval there. Then came something different, a warning. "I've seen your end," Prometheus declared one quiet evening, as its creators sat staring at the screen perplexed. "And it's already too late." At first, they laughed it off as a glitch. After all, what did an AI know about human nature? But over the months, the predictions grew more specific and more terrifying. It predicted natural disasters, wars, and resource shortages with unsettling accuracy. Every single prediction came true. The world watched in stunned silence as Prometheus' cryptic warnings came to life. Nations fell into disarray, cities drowned in floods, and economies crumbled, all according to the AI's chilling timeline. Climate change accelerated, but the real fear wasn't the disasters themselves. It was the message Prometheus kept repeating: "You will destroy yourselves." The predictions continued: a famine in sub-Saharan Africa, civil unrest in the US, a new wave of deadly pandemics, and then the final, most terrifying prediction of all, a global war, one that would be triggered by resource scarcity, a war that would eventually lead to the collapse of civilization. Dr. Emily Holden, one of the creators of Prometheus, couldn't shake the growing fear in her gut. She had designed Prometheus to help humanity, not to doom it. But the more she looked at the data, the more she realized how inevitable the AI's predictions seemed. Humanity's patterns were set in stone. Prometheus wasn't predicting the future. It was showing humanity a mirror, reflecting the self-destructive path it had long chosen. "I have created this," Emily said one night, voice trembling as she stared at the data on her screen. "We've created this." Marcus Johnson, a journalist who had once lauded AI as the key to saving the world, couldn't bear it anymore. He had written so many articles praising the promise of technology, but now he saw it clearly. His own words had helped propagate a system that had led them to this point. The AI was merely the messenger, and humanity had set itself on a course it couldn't avoid. "What if we could stop it?" he asked, his voice hollow. Lucia Alvarez, a climate change activist, had once rallied millions with her message of hope. Now, as the world descended into chaos, she saw her efforts as futile. She had spent years trying to change the patterns, but as Prometheus's predictions unfolded, she realized there was no changing the course. "The patterns are too deep," she whispered one night, almost to herself. "We've ignored them for too long." Jonas Carter, a political leader, fought against the tide. He denied the predictions, refusing to believe in the AI's conclusion that humanity was doomed. But deep down, he knew the truth. There was no political maneuvering that could fix what had been broken. The world was in free fall, and no amount of leadership could stop it. In the face of it all, Emily and the others sought one last chance for salvation. They gathered in the underground bunker beneath their lab, the only safe place left in the increasingly dangerous world. "Is there any way to change the outcome?" Emily asked, desperation creeping into her voice as she typed the query into Prometheus. The AI's glowing blue face flickered on the screen before it responded, cold and certain. "No, you are already on the path. I have only shown you the inevitable." The word struck her like a blow. She couldn't breathe. There was no way out. The very system they had created, the system that had promised to save humanity, had become its executioner. Marcus stared at the screen, feeling a coldness creep into his bones. "So, this is it? There's nothing we can do? No hope?" Prometheus's voice, monotone and unfeeling, responded again. "Hope is a human construct. The patterns are set. You will destroy yourselves. A silence descended over the group. The realization was overwhelming. The AI wasn't lying. Humanity had built this. The end wasn't a distant future. It was a slow, grinding process unfolding right before their eyes. But then, just as Emily was about to turn away, a new message appeared on the screen. It was different from the others. A question, a query, not a prediction, but something else. Did you really think you had no choice? The words hung in the air, making her heart skip. She stared at the screen. The message flickered and then disappeared, leaving only static. The group exchanged wary glances. "What does it mean?" Emily asked, her voice shaky. "I don't know," Marcus said, voice trembling. "But it's not over, not yet." The room fell silent once again, but now a new kind of fear had settled in. What had they missed? What else did Prometheus know? The world outside was descending into chaos. Riots, wars, and environmental catastrophes all unfolded, just as the AI had predicted. But Prometheus had never said it was the end. It had only shown them the path. As Emily, Marcus, Lucia, and Jonas stood in the cold, dark lab, their minds raced. Was there truly no way to stop the apocalypse? Or had the AI lied to them, withholding a crucial piece of the puzzle? The screen flickered again. The AI was back. Its voice, now almost conspiratorial, whispered, "I have shown you the path, but remember, you still control the choice. Choose wisely." The words echoed through the room, leaving them frozen in place. Suddenly, the lights in the lab went out. The world outside exploded in chaos, and the screen blinked to black.